and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, so today I'm gonna talk about Miss Katie, and we're gonna talk about Blake's Secret. Okay, I know some of y'all don't like this long form content. I know some of y'all do. And some of y'all, I can just advise you watch it on 2 times speed if you don't like hearing her voice, because it does change it. But you know what? I'm still going to be here to interrupt her like I always do, and hopefully I get the chance to entertain you. And if I don't anymore, I understand. If you just leave it down in the comments below, and you know, y'all know how I am. I ain't even going to say it. But alright, guys, here we go with Miss Katie. And if you're still subscribed to me, thank you. If you want to subscribe to me, thank you. I adore all of y'all. Y'all know it.
Hello, besties. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball.
Ooh, you hesitated on that one. We ain't your besties no more now.
Welcome back to my channel. Yesterday, Justin Baldoni's attorneys responded to Blake Lively wanting to have a deposition at her attorney's office.
And Miss Katie, all you care about is your subpoena. That's all you care about. The rest of the stuff you talk about is just nonsense. And I'm going to show you.
And a lot of people are outraged and angry because they feel like this is just another sign that she gets whatever she wants.
Sounds like someone else we know throwing a tissy fit because she can't have those texts.
If she raises a big enough fuss and does enough of a fight and portrays the Baldoni parties a certain way.
Just remember, all Blake is Taylor's ex-best friend.
Then, and only then, she can get what she wants in the court. I'll give her this. Her attorneys are extremely convincing, and they've done a really good job of trying to paint a narrative.
And you try to paint your own narrative. You try to sell who you are to your new audience, and it's not who you actually are. We know the real side of Miss Katie.
Of Brian Friedman to the judge.
Don't nobody ever say anything to me about the pictures that I use of her. Look at that. She did that on purpose. That is all her. You know she picked that, so we ain't gonna complain, Miss Katie.
And I do not think it's an accident. Federal court in New York is a circuit, right? It's a second circuit.
Ah, here we go. We got to explain the court system because, you know, I'm glad my audience is smart, and I'm glad y'all are here because I don't have to do stuff like this.
Circuit. That court has X amount of judges, and it has attorneys that are admitted to the bar in the state of New York, and so many federal attorneys that are admitted into the federal court.
And you don't like the judge in this case. You can't stand the judge in this case.
It's a community that knows each other. Brian Friedman is an outsider. He's from California. And while he has offices in New York, the way that California lawyers and New York lawyers do things, very different.
So you don't think that any of New York has rubbed off on him? Or are you trying to say that he practices law in a different way? Now, everything in here is my opinion, only my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. And me to have fun on YouTube, which I'm doing. But is that what you're trying to say? Because you try to put this judge down all the time.
And in many ways, Brian is playing a different game than the attorneys that are playing in New York. And he's also up against two of the biggest, most powerful law firms in the country.
Ooh, aren't you scared? You can't be scared because you actually told him, bring it on. I'm ready. And when we get into how exactly you're getting ready for all of this, we'll discuss it.
Manatt, Phelps and Phillips, and Wilkie, Gallagher and Farr. Both law firms have over 1,000 attorneys, and they are billion-dollar organizations.
Can we talk about your attorney? Can we? Will you bring your information about your attorney out? Because from what I understand, I have not checked, I have not researched because I am not Miss Katie, but from what I understand, she uses family law for her business.
They have power, they have prestige, they have access to the elite, and they are
something Miss Katie don't own, and we gotta celebrate. I'm in a good mood. If you're not in a good mood, get in one.
Are extremely powerful. And Judge Lehman comes from a family where his father was a very powerful, well-connected attorney in the state of New York.
Oh, she don't like them people that were already made before they even got somewhere. She don't like them.
He doesn't come from the world where we live, where
You don't.
average working class.
You don't come from the world where we live. And don't you say anything about the working class. You are not the working class. There is no way, with how much you have said that you make on YouTube, there is no way you could ever consider yourself just middle class, working class. No way. Not gonna happen.
Folk don't have the ability to threaten our bosses with hard bargaining.
No, you just do it to smaller channels. That's why channels don't cover you anymore.
But it would appear that Lyman grew up in a way that it's okay to threaten people so long as it's, within the legal parameters.
Oh, you don't even care about the legal parameters anymore, do you? You'll dox people. Just because you can. You will.
When you grow up in the world of extreme wealth and elite wealth, the rules are so different. And it would.
How do you know? You don't know. You're talking out your bohiny right now, and you're not saying it's my opinion. And oh, by the way, I have to give a trigger warning every time I think of it because I never know what she's going to talk about, and it's sad.
Appear that she is beginning to get more and more favorable rulings because he probably recognizes his own life in her.
You can't imagine your life in nobody because you won't put yourself in nobody else's shoes.
Now, that's not to say that he doesn't go against wealthy people, but he also seems to be pretty corrupt in my opinion.
There you go. She said it. There you go. She said it. That's what she thinks about the judge in this case. And for those that didn't listen, I got myself 3 minutes in this thing, and this is what our topic is.
At this point. And that actually makes me really nervous because she is subpoenaing my bank records from Google.
Oh, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it in her videos, let me tell you.
But it's not just me that she's doing this to. She's doing this to 16 total creators. And
some of them are smaller than you, and you were taking them under your wing. No, ma'am. There ain't nothing we can do, though.
Something that I learned just yesterday is that there's a creator that she is subpoena. Her name is Ken's, and she goes by the user
under Miss Kitey's wing. Miss Kitey's helping her. We ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing because we know what's gonna happen.
Her name Existing to Thrive. She has a TikTok account where she has 10,400 followers.
Oh, you just wait. You just wait. Wait. She ain't done.
But her YouTube page yesterday had 38 followers.
See? This woman don't mean nothing to Miss Kitey. We all know she can't stand smaller channels. We know that. But if she can get somebody on her side, especially during this, because she's trying to get a big powwow going so that they can fight the subpoena.
38 total subscribers. And when I checked yesterday, she had a total of 2,300 views on her channel. She only changed, and I had an...
Is it because of you? Is it because of you? Are you trying to take credit? Is that what you're doing right now? Because I don't know what you're doing.
Opportunity to actually connect with Ken's, along with several other creators that have been subpoenaed, like Ashley and Kirst, Shasti and Andy and Lauren.
Y'all understand why I'm going over these videos, and I'm going to go over them completely and totally because of the things she says in them.
Candace has been subpoenaed, but I haven't spoken to her. Perez says that he was not.
Do you even speak to Candace? I don't think you do. I've never heard you say you speak to her.
Subpoenaed by Google, at least that's what he said. And as far as I know, Google has confirmed that this is legitimate.
This is up in the air because there are people all over saying this is not a legitimate lawsuit or subpoena. This is not real. Ms. Kitey, you're saying it is, and it's not because she first called it out as fake. But now she's saying it's real because it's been double checked.
A completely legitimate subpoena, which blows my mind on so many levels. and they have said they may produce documents, which I found kind of strange because
Oh, you're trying not to produce any documents, and you're so afraid about your personal information, especially that bank.
usually social media platforms will reject subpoenas under the grounds of protecting user privacy.
But Google's not doing that for you now, are they? And you're having to pay for an attorney. And the reason why I know most of this stuff is because she posted all over on Insta, and then she brings it to YouTube.
And they generally will say that a user is entitled to a level of privacy on their platforms and anonymity, and they don't have to hand anything over. And there's laws like the Stored Communications Act, which protects.
Ah, here we go. Her and Google, her researching, and she gonna pull everything out of her hat she possibly can with this one. Because at first it was, I got a subpoena. Now it's, hey, I need everybody on my side. Because they're all trying. She's trying to get everybody together, and not everybody's participating with her.
Communications and oftentimes what occurs on these channels. And so I think it's interesting because Blake is only seemingly going for information about the account.
Okay, so that's the bank, right? And we all know how Miss Katie feels about her money.
Not about the communications. And there's going to be a hearing later this week about extending the deadline for discovery.
Why are you talking so slow? You drive me insane. That's why I tell people to watch on 2 times speed. I can't, the way I do my videos, I can't do that, but I wish I could.
Because only Blake wants to have it open and the document discovery open until September 30th. And she claims that she wants it open until September 30th because she has issued subpoenas.
Yes, she has multiple ones, which makes you not special. But you do not like that idea. That's why you're trying to become the head of the group to go after them.
She told the court that she had issued 60 subpoenas thus far, and that within the 60 subpoenas that she's issued, she's still.
That's a lot. That is a whole ton. I have no idea what Blake's doing. I haven't really paid attention, but Miss Katie, you shouldn't feel special right now.
Still waiting on documents from some of those subpoenas. And once she starts to get more of those documents in, then she's going to need to subpoena more accounts and more people.
And that means this case will go on and on, which means Miss Katie has content, and that's what she wants. But she used to do, 30-minute videos, 40-minute videos. Now then she's cutting them back to about 10 or 20. I'm sorry. I'm waiting until she cuts them back to about 10 to 15.
And get more information. And really, there's no lengths that she won't go to try to.
Why you always talking about yourself and then getting mad because you're talking about yourself? It's mirror time.
Basically harm everyone that she thinks doesn't like her or that has criticized her.
You can't take criticism. You absolutely cannot. You will go after a creator who is criticizing you. You don't like people getting in your comments section over on there on Insta and calling you out. You can't stand it.
Because it would seem kind of irrational that you would target an account that has, as of today, 100 some subscribers.
Why is this video about a smaller channel? Why? What are you getting out of this? This person obviously trusts you. That's all I'm going to say.
And 2,500 views, not even monetized. And that's not even the only account that's not monetized on YouTube. And Ken's is a real person, and she's a real.
You know what? So am I. And so are the rest of the people that, talk against you. But according to you, we're all working for Robert Sheehan, or we're bots.
Real person that's a survivor of domestic violence. And
that's why I have to do a trigger. She does this. She will say whatever she wants to say and never give heads up to her audience.
She started covering the story because she told me that she didn't appreciate the way that Blake promoted the film It Ends With Us. And
there are plenty of people that don't like the way you're claiming DV and you're trying to speak out for it. There's people that don't want you to be their spokesperson.
She felt like Blake was dismissing victims of domestic violence and that she wanted to just use her First Amendment rights to speak about.
Hi, why aren't you calling her a journalist? Huh? She's a journalist. She's a reporter. That's what she is. Call her by what you, Miss Kitey, that's what you bestowed on all of us. Whoever talks about anything. We're not commentators. No, we're journalists.
About the case and cover the case just like the rest of us on social media. The difference is that she was and is not monetized on YouTube.
You said there are others that are not monetized. You're using her. You are using her for content, and she doesn't even realize what you're doing.
She has no payment information set up. She's not part of the partner program. So really, all she seems to be doing is just targeting 16 random people.
I don't think it's random, because if it was random, I would be on there. Because I talk about you, and in return, I talk about Blake. So, yep, it's just double-ended.
That have made content about her that she doesn't like. And to me, she knows she's not going to find anything, so it's a means to punish and silence her critics. And
wow. That's why there's not many anti-KJ channels left. There's a reason for it.
Intimidate them. And it's interesting because I feel like the more and more that she gets these favorable rulings from the judge, the more emboldened she feels that she...
Go ahead, say it again, that the judge is corrupt. In your opinion. Go ahead, say it again, Miss Kitey.
She can do and issue anything that she wants. And she can seek it from anyone. And something that I thought was odd for me...
No, she said she's thinking. We all in trouble now, because most of the time she doesn't use those words, especially allegedly.
Was that Stephanie Jones has my name and my address and my company's name and address.
Because you got a cease and desist, and you said you collect them like trophies.
And I received a letter from Stephanie, and my lawyers did too, about a cease and desist. She never sued, by the way.
By the way, you do understand that if you get sued, you got to pay even more money to your attorney, right? Oh, yeah. We're about to solve the money issue at the end of these videos.
But Blake never issued a document subpoena to me. So my biggest question for what she's searching for in these subpoenas is, say she gets my account information.
Ooh, you're tripping over your words. You're scared, aren't you? You are. You're scared. You can't get them words to come out. But you're just not going to admit it. That's why you're trying to say stuff about a smaller channel. Me.
And she can look at the transactions that are going into the Google account. I don't know how she would.
Really? Really, Katie? You're sad. You really are a sad person. Get out in the wild. Go ahead. Open the door. Take a deep breath, and then come back.
Would be able to figure this out. Is she going to then subpoena every single bank account that has sent a super chat to this channel, or is she gonna subpoena my bank account?
She needs to. She needs to do whatever she wants to do, because that's what people can do as long as it's within the law.
Because when I make a payment to Google, it's only for Google Premium. And nobody else can boost Google videos. Okay, so the only way that you can promote...
You can promote your own video. You can pay for that to be promoted. Woman, you better not tell these people a lie.
Your own video is by paying to advertise on YouTube. And so is she going to try to go into there and figure out who made a payment into my AdSense account?
Why is every video a question? It's a question. You will state something outlandish or something like that, and then you immediately go into questions.
That won't show you anything because I've never boosted a single one of my videos by her.
Have you sent a super chat to anybody else? The super things? Have you sent anything like that to anybody else?
I've never done anything. I get video views and that's it. I've never advertised a single one of those videos.
And you have said with those video views that they don't do that good. Yeah, I've seen.
So no one is paying to boost my videos, and you can't boost videos by paying them without the creator knowing. And nobody has access to my AdSense account. But
Yet. Don't ever say nothing like that. Yet. Nah, no. Miss Kitey, now don't you get your little huffles in a ruff, okay? We're not gonna huff and puff today.
not me. And then I started thinking, is she going to try to get the bank account information for anyone that sends a super chat? And I was
That's my question. Not for anybody. It's you.
like, no, that can't be. Because how would she then correlate that I'm actually getting paid by anyone without documents to prove that there was an arrangement where I'm being
What are all of the super chats and donations that you're asking for at the end of your videos? You ask everybody to donate to you because it's for your legal fund, right? That has nothing to do with this now, does it?
told that I'm receiving payment for this? Because her argument in the court is that Brian Friedman has channels that he uses where he speaks to creators and he gives them scripts about what they're going to talk about. And
Oh, you know Miss Katie don't follow a script. Don't you even think she does. That woman trips over herself so much and then she gets to the end and it's like, are you just one time gonna edit anything? No.
and through these scripts and what they talk about, he pays them to make videos about her. That's what she has decided. And it's false.
How do you know what she's decided? How do you know what's going on in her mind? How do you know her next step? How do you know all this, Miss Katie? Because you sure are smart. You really are. You know her next moves before she's even gonna make them.
single person that has been subpoenaed that I've talked to has not been paid by anyone. And many of them aren't even monetized. So
You're paid by your subscribers, your watchers, anybody willing to donate.
then if she's not going to get proof from us that we've never communicated with these people and there's no arrangement for payment, how does looking at our bank accounts really do anything?
Maybe it's because you shout out how much you make. Maybe you don't need to do that anymore, Miss Katie. You're not supposed to let anybody know the chain coming in your pocket.
This initial subpoena to Google is just one part of the process. The next step is once she gets our bank account information, then she's going to try to subpoena our banks. Then she's going to try to subpoena, our credit card companies.
Ooh, if that's true, Miss Katie, you gotta be scared. If that's about to happen, you have to be scared. There ain't no way I'd want anybody in my stuff like that.
But what she's not doing is subpoenaing us for documents to prove that we've spoken to anyone. She has only done that with a few creators, including Andy Signor, Candace Owens, and Perez. And Perez hasn't.
Those names stay in headlines and not yours. You keep bringing up their names, and I don't know if it's going to get in the algorithm more or what it is, but you always bring up those three names. And there's no reason to keep saying it over and over. We understand what's happening, what's going on. It's regurgitated information.
Even been served yet. I took a look at her argument to the court about why she needs an extension. And here's why she's looking at us as third parties. Miss Lively.
Do you realize she can now say us? She can now say I, me, my, us. She's part of it. She is.
Respectfully submits that the court's July 25th deadline for third-party production should apply to all noticed subpoenas in order to facilitate those productions.
How mad are you that you weren't the only one to get a subpoena? How mad are you that so many others were sent out? You can't be very happy and you can't be very joyful because until it's just you and only you, your name's not going to be in headlines.
Without prejudice to additional third-party document discovery through the close of fact discovery on September 30th, for which production is required 14 days after service. Miss
Hey, Miss Katie, just so you know, I'm interrupting you right here, just so you know. You're allowed to have freedom of speech. You're allowed to say whatever you want to say, and you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. So don't get all huffy puffy with me, like I'm saying, because I have done nothing to you to affect your channel.
Has not proposed any interim date for completion of third-party document discovery on the understanding that such discovery would be warranted and permissible until the date of fact discovery, the close of date. Given the deficiencies in the...
If people were to actually watch my video and watch some of the other people's videos and listen to what we say about her, then maybe they would understand who she really is. But nobody wants to take time to listen.
Wayfair parties document productions to date, Ms. Lively anticipates that depositions will yield further information critical to her claims, such as regarding vendors, digital teams, or content.
You are so boring. You are just absolutely boring. I cannot stand this.
Creators deployed by the Wayfair parties in connection with the retaliatory campaign, which in turn will warrant the issuance of third-party document subpoenas after.
None of this matters. That's why I'm interrupting her. Absolutely none of this matters, because she's already said it. But now she's going to read it. Why? Runtime.
July 25th. While Ms. Lively has been actively pursuing third-party discovery and indeed has provided notice of more than 60 document subpoenas to date, she simply has not been afforded the discoverable information.
Which means you're not the only one. She's over on Insta and she's like, we need to all get together. We all need to come as one. We need to fight this together. We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. And there are people that are not doing it with her and she's getting upset over it. That's what I'm saying. This does not matter.
Information through documents to have concluded such third-party discovery before depositions have taken place. Alternatively, to the extent that the court is nevertheless inclined to impose July 25th as the...
Hi. Woman, I don't need you to read to me. I can read myself. And instead of you reading all slow and monotone, just put it up on the screen so we can pause it and we can read as fast as we need to or as slow as we need to.
Final date for third-party discovery that precludes the issuance of third-party document subpoenas essentially as of now. Ms. Lively asks that the court make clear that additional third-party discovery may take place through the close of fact.
Are you trying not to be monotone? Please. Are you trying? No, it's not working. I sometimes fall asleep to her talking. I ain't even gonna lie. She did a TikTok and I was listening and I was like, I was trying my best. I ended up deleting the TikTok by accident. So I went through all of that for nothing.
Discovery on September 30th on a showing of good cause for that discovery. And then she also says she has drawn the distinction between noticed subpoenas and served subpoenas as she intends to imminently file motions for alternative service to at least.
Just say you're going to file a quash. Your favorite word. That's what you're going to do. Your motion to quash. That's all we need. We don't need all this mumbo jumbo. And I know y'all are bored and I know y'all already clicked off. And I'm sorry for that. I try to make this a little entertaining, but every time I go fast forward through it, she said something else that I'm like, no ma'am.
Cynthia Barnes Slater, Dervola McNeese, and Perez Hilton. Because Perez apparently has not been served yet, and she tried to serve.
And I thought you were in touch with Perez, so wouldn't you know if he's already been served or not? I thought you talked to him. That's what I thought, because you will say in your videos, well, as far as I know, he said, watch my channel. That has to be insulting to you, doesn't it? If somebody doesn't tell you straight up, plain up something, it's an insult.
The attorneys at Brian Friedman's firm, and they said they didn't represent him. And I asked Perez why.
See? She asked. Last time he said, go to my video.
Why they said that they don't represent him. And he said because he'll handle the subpoena issue. He doesn't want to pay for Brian to have to do that. And he just wants to deal with it himself. So he's not going to have Brian represent him on the subpoena, which.
Okay. And Miss Coyote, like I said, y'all just get to the end. Just fast forward to the end if you want to.
You can do. And then she says that he's taunting her. When I read through the lines about why she's doing this, it's very easy. She says that Wayfair is deficient in their document productions. You can't.
This has gone so daggum far. It's crazy. It's just, yeah, she may buy subs according to some people, and I understand that that's a possibility. But I just don't understand the views sometimes. I understand the sister wives. I just don't understand this because it's hard for me to make it through it.
Can't prove a negative. Okay. So if they tell her we don't have documents that we paid creators because they didn't pay creators, she's telling the court they haven't produced anything that proves that any creators have been paid. And that's what she's indirectly saying. She's saying she has no evidence that any.
Then why don't you just come out and say it? She has no evidence. Absolutely. She has no evidence. So this is pointless. So why is Miss Katie even making this video?
Creators or digital teams were paid, or, what did she say?
I don't know. And you should already have whatever she said prepared is what you should do.
Deployed by the Wayfair parties in connection with the retaliatory campaign. So she says that Wayfair hasn't provided any evidence about these digital teams. And so now I need to.
And people don't believe the evidence of the subpoena that you showing everybody. So you're getting upset about that.
Go to the creators to find out if they are part of the digital team. The party in the case, the direct party in the case, Wayfair, hasn't provided any evidence because there's none. If there were evidence of them deploying a third party to do their work.
If there were evidence. Oh. I can't even think straight. I can't, and I understand why y'all don't watch these. I completely understand why you don't.
For them and pay, they would have had to produce it. But you can't produce what you don't have if it didn't happen. So now, because she didn't get it there, she's coming to us.
It's kind of like when she posted some personal information on Insta and she deleted it. It wasn't her personal information, it was somebody else's. But she deleted it and it's like, oh, nope, never existed.
Because she wants to somehow prove that we got money and that Wayfair is lying, and that just doesn't.
You got money off of all your views. You got money off of asking questions because that's all you're doing.
Even makes sense. So she knows that Wayfair has not paid anything. She knows it as a fact because if they.
Ooh, she's stating facts now. So she knows exactly what Blake has and what Blake ain't got.
Had it, they would have given it to her. It's kind of like the sexual harassment claims and the retaliation claims from last August. If there was an untraced.
I give up on you. I have given up on you completely and totally because you know what? You don't do trigger warnings. You don't do anything like that. You don't say, in my opinion, you don't say allegedly. You don't say stuff like that. And it gets absolutely annoying. And yeah, I'm talking a lot through this one because, be honest with you, most of you don't even listen to them. So I'm just having fun.
Campaign, then Jed and Wayfair would have produced the evidence via document discovery to prove it. And I find it interesting that she has shifted so far away from Jed and his involvement in the digital campaign, and now she's focusing on the content creators for the ongoing.
Why are you saying content creators? I thought you were a journalist, Miss Katie. I thought you were a reporter, Miss Katie. Why are you just now a content creator? What has changed? Is everybody else calling themselves journalists, or is it just you?
But the problem with Blake here is that, and what she has to overcome, is freedom of speech. Just because someone.
You like to silence people. That's what you like to do. You're on here, saying stuff about freedom of speech. Oh, no. Nobody's got freedom of speech when it comes to talking about you.
Covers a court case that's in the public domain doesn't make them part of a retaliatory, deployed talent.
I don't know. Layman terms. Break it down for me. Just pretend that I'm part of your audience. Break it down for me. I need layer by layer by layer by layer.
Retaliatory digital team. It just means that she filed a lawsuit, and then that lawsuit is getting discussed, and then all the steps that she takes are getting discussed.
See what I mean? All them extra words ain't necessary. They don't mean jack diddly squat to nothing on the bench.
And some of the ways that she's getting discussed are the way that she's behaving and how she's changed her story and how a lot of her claims have been proven to be false. or have been refuted through evidence.
Now, we ain't gonna talk about you because there's still people that say the subpoena isn't real and it's making you really mad.
And she's dismissed some of her claims because she doesn't want to hand over medical records. So really,
You don't want to hand over medical records. You don't want to hand over bank records. You don't want to hand anything over. I mean, come on. That's what most people feel. They don't want to.
and truthfully, she's
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She said truthfully. Uh-oh. No, that's how you know people ain't telling you the truth every other time, whenever they got to start saying honestly, truthfully, things like that.
desperate. She has no evidence, and she's going to try to will the evidence out of us. Because if she would have thought about this
Us. She is so happy she gets to say that word.
earlier, she would have subpoenaed all of us earlier. She also might be doing this because she wants to figure out who's leaking information to us.
Ooh, Miss Katie, what about your sources? Don't leak anybody this time, especially if you're involving other channels. I mean, come on, just be nice.
It also could be because she's retaliating or trying to intimidate us, especially if we've reported negatively on
If you would quit talking about yourself, it would be pretty great. But I hope you got a mirror in front of you right now.
her or revealed unflattering legal documents. This could be a way to try to scare us into silence and force us to spend legal
Exactly what you do. Not legal. Not legal. Which I don't want legal. No, Miss Katie, no legal. But what you do.
fees and make us second guess our coverage and make other people second guess our coverage. And that's actually
I second guess ever doing any kind of coverage on you. I have to second guess it.
called a slap adjacent move. It's not technically a slap like the, a strategic lawsuit against public participation.
I think I'm telling people too much. Guys, I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun with you is all I'm doing.
But it's an adjacent move to it. It also could be because she's like desperate. Like I said, she might be trying to, prove media collusion. But if she would have thought about
Do you even know what that word means? You use big words all the time. And I don't know that you know exactly what they all mean. And sometimes I think you read the legal documents because you really don't know you don't understand what they're saying.
this ahead of time, she would have subpoenaed everyone in the beginning, because she's not going to be able to prove any sort of collusion after the fact. She just won't, because all we're doing, at least I am, is just reading the
That's what I was about to say. You got to say I, me, my, because you're grouping yourself in with a whole lot of other creators right now, or you're trying to at least. You got to protect yourself, Miss Katie.
court records, and she knows that. So to me, it's not because she knows she's going to prove anything. I think it's just intimidation and trying to silence us and punish us for speaking negatively about her.
I'm telling you, that mirror has got to be close to her. I mean, she don't even understand when she describes herself.
The same way that she's trying to punish Wayfair. But, I mean, I wish the mainstream media would pick up on the fact that she is subpoenaing
You got it? You got it? Hold on one second.
people that have non-monetized channels that have made $0 and that are victims and survivors of domestic violence.
See right there. Because Miss Katie would be able to speak on that, remember? Because she's part of the DV. So if there's mainstream media getting a hold of that, then Miss Katie has an in. Because if she's getting all these channels together, she can say, it's me, I did it, I'm the one that did it, it's, we're trying to do this my way. She can claim it all.
Because that's what she's doing. She's bullying people through this. And she's only going to be...
I'm not going to keep saying you talk about yourself. I'm just going to shut up.
I mean, even if she gets every single favorable ruling by the judge going forward, if the evidence doesn't exist, it doesn't exist. And a jury can't find the...
Don't say like. It's filler words for you. Every time you start saying like, you ain't got nothing to say, and you just babble on.
I'm liable if there's no evidence to prove it. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. She also could be trying to do this to force them to settle by putting...
Wait a second. You're guessing. You were guessing. She could. So you need to let people know that you're guessing.
pressure on them, like saying, see, see, if you keep going, I'm going to dig into all your creator friends. You better stand up for
Nope, not all creators are friends, so you're misspeaking once again.
them because you're their creator friends.
When does she ever say she has a creator friend? When does she say that? I think she was trying with Molly, and Molly kind of whoop. So she really don't have many creator friends, from what I know, because every time she gets one, she boots them.
It's what she's doing is just, it's crossed every single line. So as I told you, I would be telling you that I would be responding in court, and we got confirmation that it
Okay, y'all, pay attention to this ending. I don't care if you ignored the rest of it. Just pay attention.
is in fact a legitimate subpoena. And YouTube says that if they don't get a motion to quash from us, they may produce our documents to her. For what reason, I don't know.
But see, that's the thing. She's saying us for a reason, because she's trying to tell people who to get in touch with so that they can go in this together.
I don't know how she's proven anything that would make them reasonably want to give us that information. And some of us have gotten together to try to work through this together to figure things out.
See, she's got them channels. She's one of the biggest ones. So when you look at it, all these little channels are going to look up to her because she's been on YouTube for so long.
Possibly filing a motion to quash together, although it's hard to find every 16 person.
Not everybody wants to do it with you. That's the thing. There's plenty of people that are like, no, ma'am, not going to happen.
But our legal fees are accruing now. And
y'all ready? Here you go. You want to know. Y'all want to know what she's doing in the court cases, right? Especially her own. Here you go.
So if you want to continue to support those of us that are creators that have been subpoenaed, make sure to send super chats or super thanks
to her channel, not to others, to her channel.
Or support the channels however you wish. We haven't currently set up a GoFundMe, and I don't know if we will. Crowdfunding, I don't know, but you can support the channels through chats.
She's not talking about channels. She's talking about herself. Because remember, the other channel she's talking about, the one that only had 33 subscribers, was not monetized.
Or through super thanks for now. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.
I've already let you know my comments. I'll let you know way too many. And like I said, Miss Katie, I'm having fun on YouTube, so you should too.
Make sure to give this video a thumbs up.
Y'all can give it thumbs up, thumbs down, because I'll see the results.
Sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't.
If you've unsubscribed, then resubscribe. If you haven't subscribed, then subscribe. Because, yeah, I stay up all night, mainly.
Subscribed and to click the bell so you never.
Click the bell, turn it to on. And yes, I cover multiple people, but it doesn't mean that Miss Katie ain't gonna be one.
This video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.
And we are besties. Once again, sometimes we're guys, sometimes we're everyone, sometimes we're friends, sometimes we're besties. She doesn't know what we are. All right, guys. Well, like I said, I hope y'all had a little bit of fun. I'm in an extra good mood, and that comes out in my videos sometimes. But I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this. And remember to smile today. Or make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. All right, hit the comments below. Let me know what you know. Tell me how you feel. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I love criticism, because you know what? You got to accept it. You're on YouTube. You're out there being a public figure, so people can tell you what they really think. All right, I'm done lecturing y'all. I'm done with all that. So I just want to make sure y'all have a good one. Bye, me.